it could all go wrong, and chances are it possibly will. Good evening, everyone. It's Mike here, Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and over there is Kath. We are testing out a new microphone at the moment, the Boya BY... P... No. Where's the damn box? The BY PM700 SP. You would not believe how difficult it was for me to remember that when I was trying to do the review. Absolutely horrendous. So just want to do a quick mic check, make sure that everyone can hear me, make sure it's not peaking or whatever. Please let us know in the comments section. Willie Bob says mic with mics. Yeah, it's currently set to cardioid. Cardioid? Yeah, cardioid mode. Can't even say it. Cardioid. That's better. It's set to cardioid. Angry Doe says, is that the Blue Yeti? No, this is the Boya Yeti. It's a lot of people have said the same thing. It looks like the Blue Yeti, but I guess microphones all tend to look very similar. This has got 4 different patterns. So currently it's set to cardioid. There's omnidirectional, bidirectional, and stereo.
Bit dark.
I'm a bit dark.
No option but that.
You can try just in the ISO on there. It'll probably go very bright. It is a condenser.
It's on 1600 already.
William says not very loud. Oh, it's on 1600, is it?
Yeah.
Move on the... That's it.
3200.
That's much brightness.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Oops.
Stefan says the mic is a big stand in the way. You ought to be the centre of the show, not the mic. There we go. If I move across.
Not very loud.
Not very loud? No? Okay. Is everyone saying the same thing? Is it a little bit on the quiet side? I'll up it a little bit. There, how's that? Is that any better? Looks like from the OBS is showing that it's getting into the yellow. So we're not peaking. Not peeking over the corner. Sound levels are good, Welly Bob says. Awesome. It's quite good actually because you can get up really close and speak quite quietly, but it still sounds rather good.
Can we put a tree on the top so Flame can speak?
Angry Doe says the mic is very nice and clear though. Awesome. The mic is good for mic. And better brightness. Sorry, Kath, what was that?
Can we put a treat on the top for Flame to come and crunch?
No.
Go on.
We could quite easily do some ASMR now, if I knew what that actually meant. Ugly Bob's come in with a super chat already. Says, what fruit are you going to hate on this week, Mike? Hashtag mango lives matter.
Still got the mango.
I've still got the mango, still not attempted it. I really should. It's gone a little bit squidgy now. I'm not sure if that's a good thing. It kind of, it's a little bit on the wrinkly side. It kind of reminds me of something else that is slightly wrinkly.
And
I'm not too sure what.
close the chicken.
Yeah. William Bodie says, sound is much better now, Barry White. Welcome to the love train. Mike's doing voiceovers on the side. That's not a bad idea. Who wants to listen to a dodgy Bristolian? Most of you probably don't want to. Right, let's say hello to some of you that are in the chat, as is traditional. We're going to do our best tonight to not talk about the things that everyone's talking about, such as the Chia mining, Bitcoin mining, GPU shortages, memory price increases. I didn't mention in the title also hard disk drive shortages as well, especially on the premium ones, higher TB models. Although saying that, I did see there seems to be a really bizarre thing going on at the moment where power supplies are dropping in price like crazy, as we saw last week, the ones that we've received and the ones we posted in the deal section. And also again, thanks to all of you in the Discord for posting all those deals in the no chat deals room, whichever it is, I can never remember. So thanks to all of you for posting those. And for those of you that picked up bargains, glad you did. I've still got 3 power supplies underneath the desk, still waiting for homes. So yeah, we'll get there eventually.
How many RGB headers does the new mic have?
How many RGB? It doesn't. There's no RGB headers on it. Although it has got a red light, which says do not press. It doesn't actually. It's got a mute light. So if I go like this, Did that mute? Hopefully it did. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, so we're going to try not to talk about those depressing things. Well, we probably will end up talking about it because inevitably it affects us all, so we will talk about it at some point or other. Hard drive prices seem to be going down for the lower end ones because they're basically useless for Chia mining, but the faster and also the the higher capacity drives are starting to go through the roof. If you look at any of the Seagate Exo drives, basically anything which is like enterprise grade, they're selling out very, very quickly. I think Chia mining is going to be massive. I don't think it's going to be for everybody, because you do need to have a certain level of hardware available, bandwidth available, and all that kind of stuff. So it isn't like with crypto, where you can basically jump on with even a pretty ropey old graphics card and still get something. It is going to be a lot more difficult with Chia, which, well, I guess we'll start seeing in the very near future. I better do the hellos, and I should do the hellos before we get too far into this. So, Jar2016 says hello. He was in first, or she was in first. I never know. I don't want to use the wrong pronouns, even though I am of a certain age where pronouns mean absolutely all. See, I didn't even use the mic button then. Nick Barnes says, damn, I just realised I've got to suffer voice on TV for an hour until your stream. Yeah, now you've got to suffer this. And Ugly Bob says it will be more like 70 minutes because Mike is always late. Well, I would have been late tonight, but fortunately, as you can see, I am rocking the new Mike's Unboxing limited edition grey hoodie. These will be available very shortly for a very select few of you. Let's be honest, I didn't order a huge amount of them. They are literally here, sitting here, waiting to go to their new respective homes. So we'll be working out pricing on it. I think it's going to be... We'll probably do the embroidered ones for the same price as the normal printed ones regardless, just as a thank you to you guys, and hopefully you can wear them and spread the love. Actually, it's pretty comfy, quite like it. The hood's a little bit on the big side, so you can kind of go all Jedi on it. Totally lock out the outside world. Anyway, you get the idea. It's a hoodie. It's not rocket science. Talking of rocket science, there is currently a bloody great big Chinese lump about to re-enter our atmosphere, and it seems it's going to possibly hit within a kind of 7-hour time span. So they reckon around about 11 PM UK time, plus or minus 3 hours either way. So it could have already happened, but it hasn't because I've been watching the live stream. Who knows where it's going to land? Hopefully it's going to be in the ocean and do no damage whatsoever. That would be great. If it lands somewhere else, let me know in the comments. Where would you like the rocket to land? That is the question of the day. Where would you like the large piece of Chinese rubbish floating out of the sky to actually land? I bet you guys can think of some pretty interesting places for it to land. Hopefully, as long as it's not here while I'm streaming, that'd be awesome. Although, we probably would get much better viewage. Anyway, Ugly Bob's with us. William Bodie. Most of you probably don't know what that is. And I didn't really do it particularly well, so you won't. Scroll down through. Nick Barnes is with us. And we had a super chat, actually, while I was getting ready for the stream. We had a super chat from Outlaw Fett. Thank you very much for that. We do appreciate that. Cool, you guys have been chatting for ages. Waiting for me, I guess. Skystalker is with us also. Good evening to you, Skystalker. Who else? Oh, and another super chat. Who's it from, Kath? I can't scroll. Tristan, thank you very much for your $5 super chat. Quite like the logo there. That's pretty decent. Thank you very much. We do appreciate your super chats, especially in these times of human malware and weirdness in the world. It's very nice that you feel that you can help us out. And it does. It really genuinely does. It's not like I spend it all on Carlsberg or anything like that. That would mean me having to leave the house. Arale's with us as well. Hi Arale, Captain Meets Adventure says, hey Mangle Wurzels. I think that's the term of endearment. I'm pretty sure it is. Stefan says, what are we discussing this evening? Trying is a flexible definition. It's, yeah. Normally when I try, it's not like Yoda try, do not, do or do not. Trying is a very, very wide spectrum for me, as in probably not doing it at all. Ricardo says, hi Mike, Kath and everyone. I've left my like. Sorry, can't be on the stream today. Family time. Enjoy the show. Thank you very much. You can always catch up later. You won't have missed anything. Angry Doge is with us as well. We said, Welly Bob. Stuart Cleary says, hi nerds. Nerds. Is nerds a pronoun? Can that be a new thing? So when you go to the doctor's surgery, or you're filling in a form, or on your voting slip or whatever, and it says male, female, other, or nerd. Who of you in the comments are going to put nerd as your pronoun? You can go into a shop and you go to buy something. There you go, sir, there's your change. It's nerd. Not sir, nerd. Oh dear. Chris O'Holland says, what's this? I've got no idea. Basically a Bristolian trying to earn a living on YouTube whilst trying desperately to entertain people badly. Potentially it's working. Tristan G says, hello from Seattle. I always want to go to Seattle. I want to go to America. When the everything is over, I would quite like to go to America. There's various places I would like to visit. Seattle, I think one of them, because it's probably the most like Bristol in the UK. Yeah, I do, yeah. And I won't be sleepless in Seattle. I would be sleeping, most definitely. I guess there's loads of nice places to visit there. I believe is it the Microsoft campus is there in Seattle? One of them. Probably. I'd like to see that. I also want to go to Texas and Florida and Arizona.
And Ohio to see a letter.
Oh yeah, and Ohio to see a letter.
And our water
as long as
system.
we will announce ourselves as we come up the driveway or enter the mansion, so the dogs don't get us before the bullets do. That would not be particularly good. Ugly Bob says, the boy a blender. It doesn't look like a bloody blender. What's the matter with you?
It does merge into you a bit though.
It does merge in, doesn't it? It's like, look, gone, disappeared. I kind of like it. I want to listen to the sound back. I've done a video already today. I did some recordings and with various different levels. I think I've still got to work out what is what. But it does, from what I can tell, the sound quality did seem to be quite good. Although possibly a little bit over the top on the S's. So I'll probably need some kind of de-esser in my software. But hopefully it's sounding alright. My biggest concern is using it for streaming is the sync issues with USB. There used to always be a thing with USB microphones where gradually they would go out of sync as time went on. So I'm hoping that is not the case. I have tested some headphones, no, not some headphones, a microphone this week, which you need to see the review. But the audio is out of sync quite badly. And it almost looks like you're watching one of those badly dubbed movies.
Is that the Chinese rocket?
This is the Chinese rocket. It had landed in the United Kingdom on my desk. What am I kicking under here? Oh, it's a box. Nick Barnes is with us. I think I said that already. John Sullivan says, hi guys. Ugly Bob's giving us a $5. God bless you, Bob. Jar 2016 says, Mike ASMR channel coming soon. At Kath Churchill. She gets tired of listening to me as it is. William says...
Jumped to your defence there, didn't I?
Yeah, Kath did jump in very quickly to my defence there. Stuart Cleary says, I paid €700 for a PS5 this week. Holy actual balls. That's pretty scary. I've missed loads of stuff here. This just scrolled for some reason. Ray D says, does it come with a mask? No.
I'm not talking about it.
No, I'm not talking about that.
You didn't do
Tristan G's super chat. I'm getting there. Honestly.
Scrolled. I didn't want you to
it's scrolled. It's all gone wrong. Alfredo says, hello there from Mexico to the United Kingdom. How you doing? Mexico, that's no place I'd like to go. Mark Berry, silence is golden. Ray D sounded better. Nick Var says, is this mic double or the new guy in the grey hoodie? Yeah, this is cool. I like it. It's quite thin. It's almost like a lightweight. It is kind of lined. Merch is a difficult thing to do. It really is. To get stuff which is nice. Oh God, Captain Me's Adventures. Watch us wreck the mic. Watch us wreck the mic. Watch us wreck the mic. Psych. There we go. There's a copyright strike straight away. I couldn't do it faster because I'll get copyright strike. I've had one copyright strike thing this week already, which I'm slightly peeved about. I had one the other week because I did some video where I was benchmarking. I think it was the RX 460 video, and it had gameplay in it, and I got a copyright warning, rather, not a strike, a copyright warning about using some of the music in Tomb Raider. So I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, just mute the volume. I did another video this week, which was, I can't remember what was in this video this week. And I had some stuff.
It was the mic on it.
Oh yeah, it was another mic video. And I was checking out some audio, because Pixabay, who I get a lot of free images and stuff like that. Yeah, speakers, yeah, Trust speakers, that was right. There's a site called Pixabay, which I did videos on a while back, and it's a really good resource. It's all free stuff, but they've got a site, or a part of Pixabay, which is free music, audio. So I figured, well, free, the stuff that I've used on there before has been absolutely fine. I've had no copyright infringement notices or anything. So I used some of that in the video. As soon as I uploaded it, whoop, 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 all over the front page of the dashboard, copyright warning. It's like, well, it's bloody free. It's from Pixabay. Normally they're really good, so I may have to make a video on that. I'm not sure why it picked it up. I really don't. Pixabay, free music on the internet is a really, really difficult thing to do. You got things like SoundCloud and Sound ID and loads of other things you can get free music. You've got no copyright sounds, NCS, which basically isn't. Most of it is someone else's content, just remixed or anything. So you got to be really careful. So when Pixabay started doing this, and it's like, this is not good. And it's very easy for someone to retroactively get copyright on a track. So say, for instance, Joe Blogs writes some tunes, uploads them to Pixabay, and says to everybody, there you go, help yourself, use it for whatever you want, monetize it, use it in promotion, whatever you want to do, I'm happy for you to use it. Then, later on, a large company goes to him and says, or her, says, oh, we really like your music, we would like to buy it off you. And he's like, oh, okay, I don't care. So then he sells the rights to the music to a company. Then that company can go and chase after everybody else who's used that content. Which is that is basically something that Pixabay was designed to circumvent. So if you put your stuff on Pixabay, that was it. Pixabay then had the rights and owned that content for use for their community. So I'm a little bit peeved about that. Definitely something that needs looking into. Anyway, Dom is with us also. Aurelia said that already. Mark Berry. Alfredo, I've said that one already because I'm just time traveling right now. Like that picture of Greta. Did anyone see the picture of Greta? There was a picture of Greta they unearthed from like something from 1784 or something really old. And it's basically a spitting image. Definitely she is a time traveller. She's come back to wreak havoc on our plastics and general waste.
She doesn't do anything with it, does she?
She doesn't. She doesn't.
She just talks about it.
Saeed Anwar says, hope you're both well. Yeah, I'm okay. Yep, still ticking. Calf, you okay?
I'm cool.
Calf's cool also.
I'm Flame.
Flame is pretty good. O'Reilly says, where is it now? Where's what? Oh, the Rocher.
There.
The Rocher is currently...
There.
Right there. Currently it is just exiting Taiwan, ironically. Probably where it was built. Sorry, I have got it on my my screen here so I can track it at the same time. And they reckon the estimated time is going up in altitude again. So it kind of bounces off the atmosphere and goes like that all the time. So every time it goes around the Earth, it drops by about a metre. I think. Or half a kilometre. Or half a millimetre. Or maybe an inch. It's one of those things. But basically, yeah, it's like skimming off the upper atmosphere. And eventually it's going to catch it on such an angle that it will kind of go, ooh, and then come down. Anyway, that's enough of that. We didn't want to know about that. We don't want to know about dodgy Chinese rockets. I have enough of those on fire at night. Ordinary Dude says, do you have the hoodies in size 3 times Lurch? No. 3 times Lurch was not available, sorry. Ray D says, on Nicola Sturgeon. Good call. Sorry to anyone out there who may be of the Scottish variety. 10 Downing Street. Yep, that was a given. Demir says, Antec A300 CPU cooler. To me, it looks like a cheaper design cooler versus the Arctic Freezer 7X. Now, actually, that has been sent in to us by one of our lovely, lovely Discord members. That was from Outlaw. Outlaw Fett, thank you very much for sending that to us. So, Outlaw said, I'm going to send you a cooler. Wouldn't say what it is. Just said, I'm going to send you a cooler. And I've never tried this, but it looks like it's going to be super easy to install. So we're going to go through some of these items we've got on the desk here. I've been sent a load of stuff this week. It's been absolutely phenomenal. Feel ultimately very, very blessed indeed. We've got some really cool stuff come through this week, as we do most weeks, but I don't know, just this week it just seems that we've had more than we generally get. I don't know. It seems the wheels of commerce, especially on the kind of the more eastern side, let's say, is increasing a little bit more. So things are starting to move along a little bit, I think. Which hopefully should be a good sign that things are going to start potentially improving in the PC industry. I would very much like to see that. But we'll see. Anthony Carter says, in safe, in the water. That is a very sensible idea. Mark Berry says, I did see in the news that USA have refused to shoot it down. Yeah, they're not shooting down my mic.
How much was that mic?
The microphone was nothing. It was sent to me free of charge for review purposes. Although that will no way influence my decision during the review.
As you'll see from the
and also it's not. Yeah, and also it won't influence what it actually sounds like because I've done nothing. It's literally being pumped.
Yeah, but how much is it cost?
It's not cheap. It's not cheap. The cheapest I think I've seen it was about 120, and I think the most expensive I've seen it is about 160. So it isn't for the faint-hearted. But saying that, these days, I've done it myself. Over and over again. I keep on doing it. I really do, all the time. I buy cheap and then I buy twice, or thrice, or quadruple times. It happens all the time. You think to yourself, you're going to save money. And sometimes you do. But then you get to a point where you think...
Can you put a link in for the live rocket tracking?
A link for the... Yes, I think
Sorry to interrupt you, boring me.
No worries. I'm boring Calf now. I'll stick a link in for the tracking. I was going to put it in a little window just so we could see it, but there might be copyright infringement things or that kind of usual guffle. Come on, post your bloody thing. There we go. Tristan G's super chat. We should really get onto that. We really should. So Tristan G sent us $5 and says, GPU story. We like GPU stories, especially ones that are happy ones. I fell to my devils. Got a RX 6700 XT for too much, but sold my 5700 XT for 2 times my cost. Sold a 5500 XT for 2 times cost, so 6700 XT price was offset. That's confusing. Smart Calf?
Nothing.
All right.
I'm thinking where I could put flame on the desk.
You're not putting flame anywhere on my desk, keeping away from the microphone, keeping away from anything that I haven't unboxed, because I don't want cat hairs all over my stuff that I need to film. That is a good thing. As long as, well, how good is the 6700 XT? I got to be honest with you, ever since all this craziness has happened and pricing, I've had no interest whatsoever in the high-end graphics cards. None whatsoever. Because I know I'm never going to get one. Well, when I say never, I mean like today or tomorrow. It might happen in a while. We'll see. But hopefully... So if you sold your 5700 XT at twice the cost, so arguably they were, what, £400-ish? So £800. The 5500 XT was about £250, I think. So maybe 500. So if you bought your 6700 XT for around about 13, 1200 or something like that. Damn. Well, I'm glad you managed to get what you wanted. That is awesome. It truly is. Matthew Day says, sorry I'm late getting free ice cream. Hey, if you can get free ice cream, you don't have to apologise. Free ice cream is always good. Markovsky says, and it's got knobs on. It does. The microphone does have knobs on. It really does. Kodo Dalio? Sorry. Watched your video about the MK290 keyboard and now I'm using it for work. Awesome. Stuart Clary, I paid €700 for a PS5 this week. That's just... Oh. The console generations, ever since probably the Xbox 360, the Nintendo Wii, the original one, and probably the PS3, maybe PS4, ever since then I've really lost interest in consoles. Really, really have. The PS4 was quite good, but I think the PS3 actually did almost everything that the PS4 did, just lower quality, and was probably better value for money overall. It's with consoles now, the same as PC gaming. It's just the only thing which really changes are the loading times and the graphical quality, which is about all that can change. I don't genuinely believe that the gameplay experience is any better. I think a lot of the older games actually were far more playable. I think we're really running out of ideas as far as gaming goes. It's all variations against very similar things. So you've got your sports games, you've got your first-person shooters, you've got your sim games, and runny, jumpy, bouncy, collecty games. I'm not sure what genre that is, but I think it's now a new genre. I don't think it's improved much. We're just spending more and more money on more and more pixels. Less and less enjoyment. Saeed Anwar says, do you get more... Oh, crap. That's gone. I've done it again. I've scrolled away. We'll give up on that. Harry McFarlane, how much was the mic? We've covered that, sadly. Charles Arnold, can you please provide a link to the live tracking? We've done that as well. Markovsky says it sounds really good and good multi-directional. I've always tried to do what I could as far as sound is concerned. When I bought that first Boya BY-M1 mic, which sadly, pay effing respects in chat, the Boya M1, the original one, actually died this week. As per usual, as I always do, because I'm a blithering idiot, the wire from the camera goes down the outside of the desk, down under there, and then I've got like the mic pack thing which plugs in onto my belt buckle, and then you've got the lav mic coming up through, which is actually really weird not having a lav mic on. But as per usual, I step away, I stand on the cable, immediately as I try to stand up, I put tension on the cable and basically rip the cable straight out the arse end of the Boya M1. And I've had that microphone for the best part of 4 years now. I've stood on it so many times, it's not even funny. Kath, how many times have I almost fell over that thing? It's probably at least once a day, isn't it? I would say.
More times than you've made me a cup of coffee, I would imagine.
Hurtful. Very, very hurtful. It probably is.
True.
I probably have actually fallen over it more times than I made you coffee. And I do make actually quite a lot of coffee. Okay, moving on. So anyway, the Boya BY-M1 RIP has gone. It is dead. Which is very sad. And there's a £5 super chat. Who's that from? I'm going to have to scroll down again. David Aiken. David Aiken, how you doing? Hopefully your changing of address is going well. First evening I've not been covered in renovation dust. Good to be back watching the stream. It's good to have you back, David. And thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. And £5 in. That means I'm a third towards buying a new BY-M1. Oops, sorry. I've got to remember with this microphone, I can't move around too much, because if you move around too much, you get really loud when you're up here, but you actually get quite quiet when you're back here. Which, normally wearing a lav mic, you don't experience that. So something I'm going to have to kind of keep an eye on. O'Reilly says, RIP Boya M1. And I think it's still, is it in the bottom of the bin, Kath?
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not going for the bin, you idiot.
It's outside now. Real bin.
Is it? Honestly? You're
Yeah.
just saying that because you didn't want to go in the bin?
No, I've emptied it.
Are you sure?
Big bin.
Honestly?
Yeah.
You're not joking?
Empty bin every day.
Okay. She emptied the bin. So the Boya M1 is gone. I did remove the button battery out of it.
Only because you've just replaced it.
Only because I just replaced it and I'm so tight. It's
And you
ridiculous.
just screwed up something else on it.
I did take off the... Yeah, I literally only that... In that segment of the video I was doing, I only just tightened up the lapel bit so it didn't spin around. Gutted. Absolutely gutted. Love that, Mike.
I got images of Frank Butcher now with that thing spinning round.
So what was that question? Do we get better views on something
On
somewhere?
Sunday over a Saturday.
Captain Meets Adventure says, Mike, can I point out that the 24-pack Saxon Premium Toilet Tissue for £5.97 from Aldi is much more absorbent and softer feeling than some more expensive brands. So sometimes cheaper can be better. There you go. I stand corrected. Demir says, Antec A300 heat pipes design is classic, or first heat pipe is kind of blocking airflow to second heat pipe. Arctic Freezer 7X heat pipes design is much better, positioned for better cooling. Okay. I'll do some unboxings on this. Go through. I'm gonna have to get through all this stuff. Matthew Day. Oh, that's a blah blah blah. Ready for the manga fruit challenge, my friend? No, not yet. Your PC room looks like a PC shop. It does. It feels like it. It does feel like a PC shop. It's kind of nice because I do like the retail environment. I don't know why. It's kind of something which I guess has been born into me. Working in shops and stuff, and especially in PC shops. So yeah, being surrounded by this stuff is kind of... It's annoying because sometimes you just want to clear the space and have just like clearness. Clearness? Is that a thing? Declutter. But
Feng shui.
yeah, it's kind of nice to have it all here. It really is. And if you could see what was above, you'd be like, oh god. And over there.
And it's not a computer room.
It's not a computer room. This is actually our living room. Well, sorry, our dining room, to be more precise. O'Reilly says, I agree, Mike. My console gaming stopped with PS3, Slim, Xbox 360S, and the Wii. Yeah, I think it's definitely... Well, it hasn't lost its appeal because clearly more and more people are getting into it. But I think... I don't know, would I be right in saying this is probably going to be sexist or ageist or somethingist? There's bound to be, and someone's bound to be offended, but what the hell. I think console gaming is probably aimed more so now at two major demographics. One is kids, and the other is, I would say, probably young professionals who don't want a PC but still want to play games and don't want to have all the hassle of Windows updates and megabytes and gigabytes. They just want to buy something and play FIFA with their mates whilst having a beer. I think that is the two demographics. I think as people... Not mature, that's the wrong word. Have you killed your PC?
It's turned right off, hasn't it?
You've blown your PC up. Kath's blown her PC up, everybody. Kath's PC is dead. Why is your PC dead?
I don't know.
Oh, it's working.
But why did it turn on?
Windows update? Oh no, it's just gone to sleep, hasn't it? That's because it's still got all your Windows. Tabs. Anyway, moving on. Matthew Day says, I've never owned a console unless you count the very old one that took about 3 single game AY something chip cartridges. Okay. Mark Berry says, upgrading a PlayStation is just an excuse to buy all your old games. Yeah. Ugly Bob says, rip boy a mic. Yeah. I'm sad about that. I am genuinely sad. There was a certain tonal quality to that mic, which I really did like. Demir says, I like the wallpaper. It's gone...
It's only on 2 walls.
It's only on that wall and that wall. That wall and that wall are just painted.
Because they
don't get seen. You can tell we've worked in TV before. It's like, if the camera isn't facing in the direction that it is going to be, you don't need to do anything. Don't need to decorate it. Don't need to even clean it.
We even have 2 different coloured walls.
Yeah.
Because we painted some of it for
That
projector
wall,
videos.
yeah, that wall is white for projectors, and that wall is basically like off green because that is the
Off-white.
colour that it used to be. Glenn is with us and says, "Evening all." Hello, Glenn. William Bodie says, "It's not patience you must learn. It's patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue." I'm not very good at patience, though. Dave Aiken says, "Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Consoles are also aimed at basically anyone not mad enough to spend 800 quid on a new GPU these days." Dutch Jan says, "Give her a new one, Mike." I try. I don't like giving Kath new computer parts because I know it's going to mean potentially reinstalling Windows or something being different. We've all been there, haven't we? We've all got that annoying relative where you do something nice to them, upgrade their PC or do something, and then all of a sudden you get the telephone call. Why can't I open this? Why can't I do this? Or you get the glare from across the room and ding, ding, ding noise as Windows is complaining because something is not being done correctly. And then you get that phrase that we've all heard so many times. And you know what that phrase is, and you know what they're going to say. "It didn't do that before." I hate that. The amount of times I'd heard that. I'd sell someone a PC, go and install it in their home, set everything up, and they would try and open up something which they'd had for 30 years. Some old program which runs off a serial port. And you click on the button and it would come up with a blue screen, or it would say IRQ error or DLL error or program not found. And there'd be a very light pause. A beat, as it's known in the TV world. There'd be a beat, and then they'd turn to you. "It didn't do that before." Oh my god, no. Just don't do it to me. Oh dear. Yes. So upgrading Kath's PC, as much as I would love to do,
I don't want you to.
I am scared to, and she actually doesn't want me to because things will change.
I'll have to
And she'd have to close down.
all my tabs.
There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's at least 20 tabs open in the first Chrome window. The second Chrome window, there's probably about another 10 or so.
18 in that one.
Sorry, 18. I'm mistaken. And that one, the tabs are so close together, I can't even count them. That's about 30. How many tabs do you have open on your PC? Let me know in the chat.
29 on that one.
So 29 tabs in one window, 18 in the other. So that's best part of 50 tabs. Now we can move on to Edge and see how many there are in that one.
25 on that one.
Another 25 in that instance of Edge. And
9 in...
and 9 in another version of Edge.
No, the first 3 were Chrome.
Oh, sorry, the first 3 were all Chrome. So best part is that that's like 80 tabs.
But that's like for me to do your channel.
80 tabs. Can anybody in the chat beat that? I doubt it. 80 freaking tabs. Do you know how many tabs I got open on my PC?
That's because I do.
I can tell you, because my PC's over there and it's turned off. There's no freaking tabs open. Well, I've only got 2 on here and I'm streaming the bloody thing.
The videos, I have to do all the stuff behind.
I just have to make the videos. That's all I have to do. Oh dear. Nick Barnes says, "So close to the mic, Mike sounds like a bingo caller." So I am told. I was going to do some bingo calls then, but there's so many now which are not politically correct. I feel it would be unwise. Because you're not allowed to say legs 11. Because you might upset the disablists. You can't say 88 for, yeah, obviously. 69, not a chance. It's not good. Ah, dear. Dave Aiken says, "Loving the light grey hoodie, Mike. Pantone MX-5. I don't know what colour it is. I just said, can I have some grey hoodies, please? And he said, yes, sir, Mike. I will get those for you straight away.
But they were good enough to change the...
Yeah, they changed the logo as well. So where it says unboxing, it actually, they've blacked out the text behind there because that's normally clear on the black hoodies. Which, yeah, I've got one over there, but I'm not going to show you that. It's actually quite nice, quite lightweight, quite comfortable. We do like that. Ugly Bob has got 3 tabs. One's Discord, one's YouTube, and the other one's X-Hamster.
Is that hamster thing?
Hmm?
What was that hamster thing Davley's had?
What, the porno thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Sorry, I didn't want to be crass, but that's basically what it is. It's either that or it's a new site about the anatomy of hamsters. Chia 2016's got 5 tabs open. Silent Spaces has got 13 tabs. Lucky for some. Lucky for some, 13.
How many desktop icons I've got, because I don't ever see my...
Nicholas Barlow's got 1, and hopefully that's the one that you're watching with. Jabant one's coming up the rear quite close. 53 tabs. That is impressive. O'Reilly says, before I did a... Oh, I've scrolled again. I really shouldn't be allowed near a computer. Ah, there we go. Only 16 gigs, I think. It's probably getting very close to the edge of that. O'Reilly says, before I did a clean install of my Windows 10, my Chrome profile session was usually 2 gigs of RAM of memory usage, so about 20 tabs easily. That's okay. Dom says, how many RAM does that PC have? Yeah, I'm sure it's 16 gigs. Actually, yeah, it is, yeah. But, shameless plug here, ladies and gentlemen. It is using, obviously, it's using V-color RAM, hence the stability of the machine, despite the fact that there's a million tabs. Hello, Flame. Flame says hello, ladies and gentlemen. Matthew Day says, I confess to 65 desktop icons. Now, desktop icons is another thing altogether.
Are you angry?
Hierarcho says 68 only. That's pretty good. Those are some pretty impressive numbers. Ugly Bob, what is the name of that TechWare VXR case behind you, lol? That is the case known as the TechWare VXR. Which the observant amongst you will notice something slightly different. You probably won't. It's very, very minimal. I did actually change out the motherboard in that case, which you probably can't tell because it's basically exactly the same. And Kath, you've missed a super chat. She's missed a super chat.
Flame jumped a mile.
Thank you. So we changed the motherboard out on the VXR. I've swapped it from the MSI Gaming Edge Wi-Fi to the MSI B550 Tomahawk. And some of you are probably going to say, isn't that the same board? And you would be right. The Tomahawk, in fact, actually has one thing better than the Gaming Edge Wi-Fi, which is the fact that it's got an additional M.2 cooler on the bottom slot, which is absent on the Gaming Plus Wi-Fi. But the Gaming Plus Wi-Fi has Wi-Fi, clearly, as it's in the name, and also has Bluetooth. Other than that, no difference. Same VRM, same thermal pads. Essentially, it's exactly the same board. And for those of you that watched during the week, I did do... Is the review video gone out? Hasn't, has it yet, Kath?
What's that for?
The Tomahawk. Hasn't, has it? Just the
Not
BIOS.
yeah,
So those of you that probably seen it on Friday, possibly, we did the BIOS update on the Tomahawk B550.
That's still in one of my open tabs.
Yeah, that's in one of our tabs. So I bought the Tomahawk B550 and I was going to put it in my own video editing machine, but I did get it as an Amazon warehouse deal, so I was slightly unsure whether or not it would be 100% fine. I did the BIOS update, so we knew it worked, but I wasn't too sure whether it would be any kind of weird issues. So I figured I'll put it in the PC behind me. That way, if there's any issues, it's not a production machine, so it's not the end of the world. So I've taken my Gaming Edge Wi-Fi and put that in my main PC and taken out my X570 Asus Tough Gaming, which seems like a downgrade. It does. I understand where you're coming from. The VRM solutions are very kind of similar. That one was a 12 phase. Sorry. The Asus Tough Gaming was a 12 phase, but was basically 6 phases with parallel units. Whereas the Gaming Edge is a 10 plus 2, using, again, a parallel setup like Asus, but that's using 60 amp chokes, whereas the Tough Gaming, I believe, was 50 amp chokes. So that board can deliver up to about 600 amps of power before it catches on fire, which my CPU is never going to need. So it's absolutely fine. But the main reason is I actually wanted to use my MSI mouse on that system, and I like my RGB stuff to be coordinated. As you can see, MSI keyboard, MSI mouse, MSI motherboard. It all fits together. So in order to do that on my own PC, I had to have that. So yeah, we're almost going completely MSI, and they are not a sponsor. Let's be completely upfront about that. MSI do not sponsor us at all. I just think their RGB implementation is really good. The boards at the moment are very good as well, apart from the X570s, which we won't talk about too much. So yeah, it's been a kind of a weird one. And if anybody actually wants, where is it? I don't know where I put the bloody thing now. There's, where did I put that?
What?
Stolen it, someone already. Bastards. Where's that gone?
What are you looking for?
Bloody motherboard. Where's it gone? This room is like 12 foot by 10 foot. The things can't go far. Seriously. How do I lose a motherboard in this bloody space? Why the... Seriously. How the hell do I lose a motherboard? It's a big box. You hiding it from me?
Is it this one here?
Yeah. Kath was hiding it underneath all of her tabs. So if anybody needs or wants a X570 Plus Tough Gaming motherboard, head over to the Discord and let me know. We'll try and sort something out for you. Because it needs a new home. I do feel bad for it. Obviously, I can't put it in Kath's PC because it'd be... it don't work like that now. It didn't used to do that. That was it. Sorry. Anyway, right, moving on. We had a super chat come in, which I completely missed, but didn't. So let's quickly... who's that from? That is from Simon Arden, £20. Bless you.
I didn't read it until now.
Pink case for the missus.
Oh. Or towards a new kitten.
Thank you. No, not towards a new kitten. We don't need new kitties. Thank you, Simon. That's very kind of you. Bless you. Simon Arden, for those who don't know, is Sarden on Hot UK Deals and posts a incredible amount of deals on a almost seeming like hourly basis. So much so that I don't even get time to like half of them. But Simon, you actually do the PC community, especially in the United Kingdom, you do the PC community a complete... I don't even know what the word is. Yeah, you are like the saviour of bargain computing. So thank you, Simon. Right, where are we? What have I missed? 40 says something I've just scrolled past. I'm such an idiot. Good evening, Mike and Kath and everyone. Good evening. Oh, that was a lot of effort for that, wasn't it? A pink case for the missus. I actually did want to get a pink case for Kath, but I don't touch the PC. I really don't.
You can if you want.
And there's another super chat from young Bobbert. A fiver towards the new posh collar for your brand new kitten that you're... Fuck off. Sorry. Am I allowed to say F off on the streams? I don't think I am I? It's not for kids. No, Bob. No. Just no.
You could get me a new kitten.
No.
You could get me a new kitten to
No.
take my mind off you messing up my PC.
No, because you're still complaining about me messing up your PC.
I wouldn't. I'd say the kitten did it. I'd be fine.
Oh, dear.
Like when our window got broken and I had a new kitten, it was alright.
Archie says Fling is crying about GPU prices too. I know. We've done pretty well. We're not really talking about GPU prices, although, yeah. Elephant in the room. ladies and gentlemen. Now, some of you are probably aware, especially if you're regular viewers, you will appreciate that I am getting together somewhat of a absolutely stellar collection of absolute rubbish GPUs. And there's two reasons. Well, first reason is because I sense there is going to be impending doom as far as the GPU market is concerned. I think we can all feel that. We don't want to admit it. Pretty much all of us are in denial. Especially those of us living in Africa. See what I did there? Denial. GPUs are really hard to get. So whenever you can find one, I would say at the moment, try and get it. So I've got a RX 460, 2 gig. I've got the MSI GT1030, 2 gig. And now adding to the plethora of GPUs. I don't even know what this is actually. Is this a 2 gig or a 3 gig? Not a clue. Anyone idea? Does it say? Should do somewhere. Anyway, this is a EVGA GeForce GTX 1660. Now if I put on the overhead, there we go. So you can see, there we go. EVGA GeForce GTX 660. And yes, I know, it's a blower card. Actually, look at that. You can see over there. Where is it? There. Look at the lag. Put my hand back. That's how much of a lag there is between me speaking and you hearing it. Look at that. That's ridiculous. Anyway, so this graphics card is... I actually really like the look of it. It's not particularly powerful. It has got the option of configuring 2 of these bad boys into SLI, but clearly we won't be doing that. It only takes a 6-pin power connector, so it should fit into most simple builds. And actually the backplate on it is a... I've never seen this before. It's actually a 2-part backplate. So looking at the camera angles there, you see this section here is separate on its own, and this is the main backplate. But even though it is a junk graphics card effectively, clearly there's obviously a lot of people in the world that would die to get hold of this. I am speaking from a moderately privileged position where I've actually got a graphics card on my PC. So for those that haven't, I think this is actually, well, could be worth a lot of money to them. I'm trying to, actually, yeah, it has got a thing on there, so 03G. I think this is actually a 3 GB model. I think they made a 3 GB model. Someone in the chat, let me know, because I'm pretty sure that there is a 3 gig version of the 66, the GTX 660. Oh, blimey, spit it out.
Coming up.
And the good thing about this is it didn't cost a huge amount. I think I paid, how much did we pay, Kath? Was it about £60?
I don't know.
I think it was about £60, which ironically, I bought 2 MSI Twin Frozer GTX 1660 Ti's about 3 years ago. I actually made a video on it about running them in SLI and seeing if I could get 2 of them in SLI to be faster than a GTX 970, which at the time in some games actually wasn't that far off. So this is about half the speed of a GTX 970, which actually isn't a bad card. And certainly, if it has got 3 gigs of RAM, which I think it has, also you've got HDMI, DisplayPort, and dual DVI. I haven't seen DVI for a while. But this actually could get someone out of a fix, and hopefully it will do so for me. The bearing in that motor actually feels particularly good. It's a nice... It looks nice. I think it genuinely does look nice. It looks quite modern. Considering how old this is like 6 years old now, easily. But it actually doesn't look too bad. It looks, like I said, quite modern. Nice looking card. Thanks to, I think it was Matthew Day who actually pointed that out. Thanks, Matthew Day. We appreciate you. Matthew Day says the number on the label may be a clue. Thank you. Ugly Bob says there was definitely a 660 Ti 3 gig version. William says printers are hard to get to here in Germany. Blimey. That's all we need, printers to go. Although that'd be great if you couldn't get a printer. Sorry, Mr. Taxman. I couldn't do my tax return because no printers, obviously.
I had nowhere to put my ink.
Yeah, I had nowhere to put my ink. I was just pouring it onto the desk and smearing it around on a piece of A4. there you go. There's my tax return.
Send it into Tony Hart.
It's rainbow coloured, so it supports the NHS, LBGTs and all that, and basically any other else who's jumped on the rainbow bandwagon, including my RGB PC. Logan says, does it have UEFI BIOS? I had a 650 Ti and had to flash a BIOS I found on MSI's forum to get UEFI. That's a good question, actually. I know absolutely nothing. I've not even tested it. It arrived like 2 or 3 days ago and I've not even tested it. It does say on the back, made in China. It doesn't say whether they've used sort of various rocket parts or anything on there. So potentially that could be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on which way you look at it. But anyway, so I am adding towards my GPU collection of kind of, not disposable, but lower end GPUs, which they're kind of an investment, because if it gets to the point where graphics cards just aren't available, even the low end ones, and the GT 1030 at the moment is still hitting like 120, 130 here in the UK and consistently rising, it's going to get to a point where if you want to build a PC or sell a PC or even just make content, you're going to need some graphics cards to do it. And stocking up on these is going to be helpful, even if it's just for benchmarking CPUs or testing or flashing BIOSes, that kind of thing. These are going to become very scarce. I really do see it. And I was lucky enough to pick this on CEX. They're not a sponsor. We're not affiliated with CEX anyway. I don't even think we can be an affiliate of CEX. But regardless, at the moment in the UK, CEX are doing pretty good deals. And the fact that that is got a 2-year warranty on it, on what is a 6-year-old card, it'd be interesting to see what they'd actually replace that with, should it die, or whether or not they just give you a refund.
Yeah.
If these go down to being like worth about 3 pence, they might swap it for a kitten. Cat will be happy.
A pink kitten.
Pink kitten, that's it. Let's leave that alone. Ghost Adder says, sexy card that is. Damn right, it is. That is a nice looking... I think it looks really nice. You wouldn't think that that is a 6-year-old card. The blower style kind of does date it slightly, because I don't think there's any of the current range which are blower model, but you could quite easily confuse that with a similar kind of Radeon RX 480, maybe. If, I don't think they did 580s like in the blower style, but definitely a 480 or something like that. Again, for £60, if it plays games and it plays it better than the onboard graphics, which clearly it will do, then if given the choice, if you buy a CPU, so Ryzen 3 3100 for example, which is £100, plus £60 for that against a Ryzen 5 3400G with onboard graphics, about £150, £160. Arguably, this is going to be better than an iGPU. Clearly, it is. There's no way that it can't be. This is going to, hurl lots of shade at the Vega 11. Obviously. There's going to be a couple of oddball titles which do work particularly well on that Radeon new architecture, but overall that has got a lot more grunt to it. It's going to use more power, but it's got more grunt. And having a CPU which only has to be a CPU rather than a CPU and a GPU, clearly you're going to get more out of it. And also it's going to be easier to cool, it's going to be easier to overclock and all that kind of stuff. So I think it makes sense. It really does, especially with the price of 3400Gs, 3200Gs, even 2200Gs at the moment, which are ridiculously expensive. Matthew Day says CEX have dropped the 1030 from 80 to 75. Well, that's cool. Hugh Luttrell says, just waiting for the Chinese rocket to hit TSMC, then we really won't get GPUs. Yeah, that is not good. Simon Arden, I bought a 5600 XT for $49.99. Best glitch ever. Yeah, there's definitely like a 4 or a 9 missing from there. Richard Montgomery says, look up GameWord Phantom GTX 770. That is a sexy card. Markovsky says, yes, smart. We should all make our own stuff and rely on no one else to supply us. That's a good way to be. They're liking the cat. Cute cat.
She's chilled.
She is chilled. Right, I've got to grab my my drink. my cold cup of tea. Who else here drinks cold tea and cold coffee? I always have done. It's like an occupational hazard. Stefan, correct. Mike, what can you tell us about this horror gaming EX360? Sorry, a bit close to the mic there. Excuse me. Right, let's clear this out of the way a bit.
Doing grain tea.
Right, it's about time I mentioned it. So, this is definitely cooler than your X. The people at Sahara Gaming I have spoken to on numerous occasions, and I will be completely honest, their sense of humour is somewhat off the wall. That is a slight understatement. This doesn't actually make sense. Cooler than your X. Now, clearly it's a cooler, because it's a 360mm AIO. We can see this. The part number is the EX360. Again, we can see this. So how can this be cooler than your X, being this is the X? And if it was cooler than your X, that's not a good thing, because your X would have been then hot. So having a hot X is not a good thing. So clearly,
You put too much thought into all this.
I've just thought of it then. Literally, that's just come into my head.
Dear.
There's a lot going on in my head that shouldn't be. Clearly, Nanny, if you're watching this, which is one of the gentlemen at said company, what the hell are you thinking? Seriously. Cooler than your X. I like it. It's different. It's unusual and it makes you think, but the more I think about it, the more that it doesn't make any sense at all. But it certainly does fill up a bit of blank packaging. They could have put Mike's Unbox on there, that would be better. So on that end, it's got EX360. I'm going to love doing the review on this, I really am. But the main thing of this is, obviously, it is a 360mm AIO. It does come with 3 Sahara fans. It also supports RGB, etc. The pump head has a very, very cool thing on it, which is actually a temperature reading. Now, from what I have been told and from what I've seen from previous samples of this, is that is actually the water temperature. So rather than relying on your motherboard to tell you roughly what the CPU temperature thinks it is, this will tell you the actual temperature of the water, which in a lot of cases actually is better than having a flow gauge or anything like that, because if you can see the temperature of the water, you know when something is not going right. So say for instance there's an issue with the water, there's a leak, there is a pump failure, anything like that, you will see that go mental. Possibly your CPU won't see it until it's a little bit too late. So for me, I like that. I like having that LCD display. It would have been nice to have possibly an option of having that or an RPM possibly. RPM might have been nice to see there. But certainly for Sahara, who are traditionally known, I'm not being rude in when I'm saying this, Sahara are traditionally known for doing kind of budget equipment. The fans are always very cheap or inexpensive, kind of £6, £7, £8 for their fans. The fan hub controller is about a tenner. So they generally do pretty cheap and cheerful stuff. But this actually does appear to be where they're kind of almost like breaking the mold. So they've got really good radiator, really good pump unit, and I have actually seen the exploded schematics for the pump unit, and it does look particularly good. And I'm very, very much looking forward to putting it in my PC behind me, which currently has the Fractal S36, which is one of the, I wouldn't say one of the best, but certainly a very, very good 360 AIO. It lacks RGB, clearly, because you can see white blades. They do reflect RGB, but they're not RGB, so it'll be really nice to have something in there to break up a bit. And also, as well, in the middle there where you got the pump, it's kind of like a dead spot. There's not a great deal going on there. So I'm really, really looking forward to actually getting this installed. Hopefully, if I open up this box, there'll be my bribe and my envelope of cash, which is normal from companies when they send us stuff. Clearly, whenever we get sent anything like this, they will send us a huge wallet full of cash, or like a prepaid credit card, and say thanks for everything. Oh, and here's the keys to the Tesla as well that you wanted. Clearly, I'm making that up. We lucky that we actually get to keep it, let alone getting payment for it. So what we got? We've got some pretty decent instructions here by the looks of things. Actually, let's do the overhead. So from the overhead, there is the instructions. Nice to see actual proper instructions with a QR code as well. So if you accidentally spill your printer ink, because you can't put it in your printer and you've put it all over your desk, then you can do that. Gives all the installation instructions, all the mountings and stuff. Looks pretty straightforward, which you'd expect. Pump head design, etc. The way all the washers go. Yeah, looks pretty decent. I like this. Correct. Wrong. What's the difference between the two? Because I'm bound to do it. Intel bracket, AMD bracket, Intel. I don't understand. Looks like the same picture.
But maybe you don't do the...
Oh, I see. Yeah, there's a ledge at the bottom and a ledge a little bit higher up. So there's two... yes, there's two locations for that to go. That makes sense. Okay, that's cool. And inside the box, what do we get? I'll try not to knock my tea over now. ASMR, tea drinking.
They think you're weird drinking it cold.
Kath, if they think I'm weird, they probably...
No, you won't.
Yeah, they probably know me quite well. Or have been regular viewers. Okay, so... looking at what we get inside. So, where do we start? So, fans. Obviously, 3 addressable RGB fans. Actually, those are bloody heavy. Those are actually really heavy. I was expecting them to be lightweight, cheapos, but they appear to be actually very solid indeed. Even with solid sections around the side. Yeah, pretty decent. And they appear to be fluid bearing as well. Yeah, fluid bearing. Nicely finished as well. You can see there is a little brass slug there put in there to seal it off. Yeah, that's quite impressive. Off of the, you've got a PWM 4-pin and Sahara's own custom 6-pin, which is absolutely fine because inside you get, put it that way, the Sahara Pirate control box. So you can connect up to, I think it's about 8 or 10 fans to this. So if you want to, you can actually get all Sahara Pirate fans in your PC, connect all this up and have them all completely synchronized, or you can just use the hub to kind of connect up the 3 from here and use your own PC fans, all that sort of stuff. It'll make sense when I come to do the review. Well, it probably won't, but we'll try. So you get 3 of those. You get the radiator itself, which, oh, actually a ton of mounting hardware, which for those of you that have installed Corsair AIOs will recognise these immediately. So there's one there that says Intel. There's one there that says AMD. It only says it on one side, so you know which side is the right side up. And then there is a combo Intel AMD rear plate. So rear plate and top plate. So plenty of metal. All nice and solid. Bit of ASMR metal there. Bit obsessed with that. So that's all looking good. What else have we got in here? So tons more mountings. So we got some fan splitters in there. We got some adhesive. The adhesive is a good shout. I'm not sure if I told them this or whether I suggested it, but I said that would be a good idea to put something in there to actually attach the back plate onto the back of the system to hold it in place while you're installing it. So that is a really good shout. There's some standoffs there. Some thermal paste included as well, which is always good to see. Some rubbers, mountings, all that kind of usual stuff. So yeah, that's pretty good. Liking that. We've got the radiator itself, 360mm rad. No real surprises there. Oops, sorry. Quite slimline, 25mm. But the real star of the show is going to be this. So we've got a massive copper base there, which looks like it's been machined particularly well. Basically reflective. That is pretty much reflective. Not bad, not bad at all. Flexible pipes on the side. Lovely, lovely. And coming off that, you've got the PWM or DC for the pump. And also you've got your 6-pin, which has only been wired for 3 pins for the RGB. So if you wanted to, you could actually take these off the end plugs and put on normal RGB ones if you wanted to avoid going down the Sahara route. Then you've got the pump head itself, which is actually pretty big. So all the pumps included in there, and that is going to be where the LCD display is. Also, there's 2 RGB strips along the top there. So yeah, this is going to look really nice when it's installed. I'm actually quite looking forward to it. I'm slightly nervous as well at the same time because, like with anything, when it's a little bit on the new side, it's kind of like the first time you install it, you're like, oh my god, here we go. I'm going to break something. But hopefully it's going to go quite smoothly. Like with most things, some people, when they're installing these kind of devices, or when you're watching review videos, it's like, oh, it's really hard to install. There was tons and tons of parts, and this, that, and the other. It's like, realistically, if you're a regular end user, how many times do you actually uninstall and reinstall your cooler? Let me know in the chat. What is the oh, wrong button. Let me know in the chat. What is the what's the deal? How many times have you reinstalled your cooler recently? I want to know. I do it on a regular basis, obviously, because kind of it's my job. What's Kath doing now?
Snapchat filters on me.
Doing Snapchat filters on me? You're supposed to be working, woman. Damn it. Can't get the staff, you really can't. Son Lauren says, Mike, did Mike buy that 4650G? No, I haven't. I'm actually not. I don't think I'm going to get a 46G. I don't think I'm going to do one. I've been umming and ahhing about it, and the more I see it, the more I kind of think I'm almost tempted to wait it out and see what happens in the overall market. I think that the 5000 series is going to give the 4000 series a serious run for its money. So I'm going to leave my cards on the table, I think, for the 4000 series. Anyway, so that is the Sahara EX360. What do you guys reckon? I think it's looks alright. Looks pretty decent. Marco says, is there a dead body in the box? Not that I could see. Ugly Bob says, the same as I change my bedding every 6 months. Nice. Ultimate Tech Hub, how you doing? Says, I never uninstall my cooler, only when I replace it. There you go. Hugh Turrell says, do you know how an easy program to clone a hard drive to SSD? Yeah, Macrium Reflect Free. I use it all the time. Very, very good. O'Reilly says, I don't reinstall the cooler unless I have to. William Bodie says, every 2 to 3 years I change the thermal. Seems reasonable. Markovsky, I'm always swapping chips between builds, so lots of on and off. I feel for you there. I think we're in a slight minority though. Skystalker says, only when upgrading the case, CPU or cooler, otherwise no change if it works fine. I think that is pretty much the real deal. Ultimate Tech Hub says, looks nice. Cool, cool, cool. MB says, hey Mike, I'm having an issue with my PC. Think you can lend me some advice or help? It turns on and the motherboard lights up and the fans spin. The GPU blower working fine, but it's sending no signal to my monitor. Yeah, sure. Head over to our Discord and be happy to help. Tons and tons of problems like that at the moment. I actually had that problem today. I started up my my MSI B550 gaming Wi-Fi, Edge Wi-Fi, Gaming Edge Wi-Fi, that's the one. I took out the 3600, which I tested in it from that system, and I put in my 3900, assembled everything as it was, and it didn't boot. It came out with a CPU light, and it's like, shit. Have I knackered my CPU during the transit? I hope to God I haven't. That's like a £400 CPU. I would cry. Actual tears if I damaged my CPU. So I thought, right, let's not panic. Let's just be calm. Think about this. And pulled out the BIOS battery, turned off the mains, pressed the power button to remove or discharge anything in there, put the BIOS battery back in, turned on the mains, pressed the button, took a couple of minutes, retrained the memory, then it went into the BIOS. And it's like, thank you, sweet baby Jeebus. Brilliant. So then got in, did all the usual tweaks, and the system booted up. I haven't needed to reactivate Windows either, which is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, that was looking good. Kieran Atkinson says, hopefully this Corsair H115i, H111, oh, whatever. Hopefully this Corsair AIO Platinum lasts a while. It should do. Hugh says, the 5700G for sale, HP 550 US dollars. Damn. Don't panic and stay calm. Yes, that is exactly what I would suggest. Well, actually, the main thing I would suggest is basically just take your BIOS battery out. Take out as much as you can from the system. Just have your processor, one stick of RAM in slot number 2, and a graphics card if necessary. That is all you need. Obviously, power supply as well is useful, and a cooler on the CPU. But other than that, you don't really need anything else. Always, 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 if you can, check the system on a test bench, cardboard box, whatever. Just test it before you install it in your system. Normally, installing in a system, well, works in two ways. If you test it on a test bench, open test bench, and it posts, you get the BIOS screen, etc. Awesome. If then, when you put it inside the PC and then it doesn't work, you know that something's happened between you having it on the test bench and putting it in the PC. So clearly you've done something wrong. So then you can check things like power supply, whether there's an extra motherboard pillar sticking up somewhere short in the board, maybe the reset switch or the power switch on the PC case is a bit duff and is stuck on in the bridge connection, so the motherboard cannot post. There's so many things that you can potentially avoid or at least narrow down in your search for a non-booting system by doing that. Personally, myself, because I'm in a relatively privileged position where I've got spare parts, I've got a little bit of time on my hands as well when I need to. So if I need to diagnose anything that's not working, then of course I can do the opposite way around. So I can build it all first, then take it all apart when it doesn't work. But for those of you in a less privileged or less time, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, if you've got less time, test it on a bench first of all. It really, really does take out a lot of the guesswork. If it works on a bench and you put it in your PC and it doesn't work, you know that you've done something wrong somewhere along the line. And it does really, really help the diagnostic kind of flow, I suppose you'd call it, if you do that first of all. Markovsky says, excuse me, he didn't say cough. I did that, that's mine. CMOS battery is a common fault. Yeah, definitely, all the time. Taylor says, hope you're doing well, Mike. Yeah, apart from bloody cough. Actually, while we're at it, let's. I'm gonna have a look at some of these other things. I've got this mouse as well. I don't know if anyone's actually heard of this brand. It's called Rat. This is the Rat 4. I don't even.
Dots between it, so is it RAT?
It is supposed to be RAT. So what does it say? I guess the company is. I think it's Mad Cats that make these, if I remember rightly. Yes, Mad Cats. Which actually, I've got to be honest with you, I always assumed that Mad Cats was like one of those cheapo brands that did knock off Xbox stuff. But it seems that that isn't actually the case. They do apparently make some very expensive and high quality mice. And also, they are slightly bizarre looking as well. So we've been sent this by one of our good friends. So using a Pixart PWM 3330 sensor up to 720 DPI, which even at 720 DPI is still way too much. What DPI do you use your mice on? Let me know in the comments. I'm actually genuinely interested to know this. I struggle with anything higher than 1600 DPI. Yeah, 1600. when you can get mice that are 16,000 DPI, like, what do you do? Just kind of like, that's it. And then it's gone from one side to the other.
Oh my god, I couldn't do that.
I can't cope with it. I really can't. Blake says, damn late to the party. Was watching the footy. Did I miss the fire risk cake, Mike? No, there was no cake. We did have a birthday cake this week. Well, yeah, we did. We had a coffee cake, didn't we?
Yeah, we shared mine and yours together.
We shared our cake together.
Angel's making us one, but she's on holiday.
Yeah, Angel's going to make us a cake when she gets back. So, yeah, let me know what the deal is with mice. Anything over 16, maybe 2,000 DPI, I suppose I could probably get away with. But I know the sensors, they have a maximum DPI, so it means they're more sensitive. I get that, I understand that. And obviously as resolutions on your desktop get bigger and bigger, having that extra resolution in the mouse helps because you're tracking kind of 1 pixel at a time. So in theory, if you've got a mouse which is 1600 DPI, then for every thousandth of a dot it can track, your accuracy is better in that particular field. Surely it comes to a point where it doesn't make a great deal of difference, or it's uncontrollable. Literally 1600 DPI, I've tried it and I just can't, I cannot control a mouse at 1600 DPI.
I thought you said you use it at 16.
16,000 DPI. 1600 is absolutely fine. And actually even 800 I can get away with.
What's mine on?
Yours is on... don't know. White. The software's on there. I bet yours is probably about 1200, maybe 13. Anthony Carter says, I use 2400 to 3000 DPI for gaming. O'Reilly says, I set my mouse to 6400 DPI, but I am currently on 3200 DPI in Windows Desktop. Paolo is 900. I hope that's DPI. And there's another super chat.
On mates.
Skystalkers, 25 Canadian dollars. Jesus. Sweet baby bejeebus. Thank you, Sky. Some Canadian weekly loving. Thanks, Mike and Kath. Love the live streams. Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. You guys never fail to amaze me with your generosity. Really don't.
Oh, Maisie's loving the lights.
Maisie likes it. She's looking at the ceiling thinking, look at all those pretty coloured mice I could chase. Oh, eyes. Mark says 600 DPI is for people who never want to move their mouse. It's bizarre. It is bizarre. Blake Ancliffe says my mouse moves about 3/4 of an inch to move the full width of my 50-inch laptop. So, no idea what that equates to. So, yeah, that is pretty high. Thinking about it. Ultimate Tech Hub says, it's a disco party. It certainly is. We have got this, basically the RGB bulb is hooked up to the algorithm in the background of YouTube. So when a super chat comes in, it gets added to a spreadsheet, and also the spreadsheet then says to my hub lighting system, hey, turn on for a second or two or more.
30 in it.
I think it's 10 seconds, 20 seconds. Thank you, Sky. O'Reilly says, and how is 25k max DPI? Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so this is the RAT 4 which they've sent us to look at. I don't even know how much this is. I'm under the slight impression that it's not cheap. And it is slightly bizarrely shaped. Although, I'm not sure if they do keyboards as well. And motherboards. So I can have the combo on my desk. That would be awkward. I have actually had to send back the Logitech.
$49.99.
$49.99. I suppose that's not too bad for a mouse in the grand scale of things. The eh? No. In the what was I say? Oh yeah, the Thermaltake Argent keyboard and mouse set I've had to send back. That went back today. Sad times. Very sad about that. That was really nice, but they did say we're only going to send it to you so you can take a look at it. We might be able to send you one at a later date, which means they won't. Jay Jones says, evening Mike and Kath. Good evening. Sound to light is always fun, yes. Oh, O'Reilly says that rat mouse looks like a compact Logitech G520 Hero. That is often the case, that a lot of these companies do tend to copy certain designs. So let's give you a bit of a close up there.
Oh, well, isn't it?
Is that focused? No.
There he is.
Yeah, it does actually, doesn't it? Yeah, it does look very similar to that. So maybe they got into the idea of copying Xbox stuff, and then they.
$55.99, but reduced down from $79.99.
Be quite interested to use this, see what it's actually like. They do a white and a black version with some red accents. Being a left-hander, these things are always a little bit tricky to use, so yeah, we'll see what it's like. Look at the cable management. Oh my goodness. There we go, look at that. The good old Logitech, not Logitech, the good old Panasonic G7 auto-focusing like a boss. Come on, focus. Jesus. Tap to focus. There we go. It's a good job I've got relatively longish arms. Right, so there's that. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, is the Antec A300, kindly sent to us by Outlaw Fett. God bless you. So, silent fan LED, straight touch copper heat pipes, and universal socket compatibility. Look at that. Authentic Antec. Since when did people start trying to clone Antec products?
Does it have weights you can add?
The mouse, I'm not too sure. We will be doing a full review on it in the coming, well, I would say in the coming days, but at the moment we've got about 12 videos all waiting to go out. So, being that I haven't even filmed it yet, it could be a week or so, if not more. We are considering doing the YouTube membership thing, and possibly, if we do the YouTube membership thing, along with patrons as well, giving early access to videos, but actually giving much earlier access to videos. So if a video is not due to go out for maybe a week or so, actually giving you guys that are members or patrons just a little bit of a thank you, and getting to access the content a little bit earlier.
Do you want me to do that?
What's that?
Use my nails?
No, I'm enjoying this. It's like peeling the labels off of beer. That never worked very well. Right, I'll give up. Just open the bloody thing. Right, so, instructions. Yep, that'll do. Oh my goodness, that is light. It's pretty cool looking though. So 92mm fan, I would say that is, on actually rubber dampeners. That is quite impressive. Let's zoom in a bit. So yeah, we've got rubber dampeners. There and there. We've got what looks to be a 3-pin PWM. So that's a DC rating, which is a little bit of a downside, but never mind. 2 heat pipes. Plenty of fin stack there. On the bottom, we've got those 2 exposed direct contact pipes. And it's pretty flat. Spring clips there, which actually is, for testing purposes, this is brilliant. For me personally, this will be great, because quite often if I'm just testing a CPU or doing a BIOS update, I don't want to go through all the hassle of changing the back plate over, putting the screws through, finding the mountings. With this, I can just grab the motherboard out of the box, clip it straight on, bada boom, bada bosh, flash the BIOS, take it off, job done. It's actually been finished really nicely as well. The Antec logo on the top there, all pressed in nicely. And doesn't appear to have any bent fins that I can see, which is often a side effect of some of these. That one's a little bit on the bent side actually, to tell a lie. Actually, yeah, not bad. Quite compact as well. That would probably fit in the PC behind me actually. some weird diffusion on the side of the blades as well to let some airflow through, rather than focusing it actually into the heat pipe, which you'd expect. Actually, some of it comes out from the sides, or at least would be drawn in from the sides due to the scoop of the fan. So yeah, it's pretty decent. What else do we get in here? An Antec badge. Get some Antec paste and some push fittings. And the good old mounting ring, which is what you normally see for Intel, for sockets 775 upwards, up to 1200. Yeah, pretty cool. Actually looking forward to doing a little review on that. Like I say, it's going to be very, very handy for flashing BIOSes, or even on some of the other systems where it's just physically impossible to fit a larger cooler. I'm going to destroy this now, put it back in here. Put that across there. So, thank you Outlaw Fett for sending that. I don't recall whether or not he said he wanted me to send it back to him after, but certainly if you want me to, I can do. Well, I can't, Kath can. That's her job. Oh, that doesn't go back in there now. Does it go? Ah, yes, I know what I did. In typical unboxing fashion, while the camera is rolling, totally forget how to put things in a box. There we go. That's a bit better. So anyway, we'll be doing a review of that one pretty soonish, so anyone wants to see what the Antec A300 CPU cooler works like, we will be finding out. Looks like it's going to be easy to install, which is always a good thing. Have a quick look at some of your questions and see what's going on. That Jan says it looks like a toy. Oh, the mouse. Yeah, it does. Ugly Bob says that's a nice looking cooler. Fan speed is up to 1750 RPMs. Rick Hartzer says cheers from across the pond. How you doing? Which side of the pond are you on? Talking of the side of the pond, let's have a look and see what's going on with the Chinese rocket. Oh, it looks like it's taking it back off again. So basically the rocket, for those who don't know, is bouncing off the upper atmosphere, like I said earlier. It started off earlier at about 170 something kilometers above, 170 something plus kilometers above the Earth. It then dropped down at some points to like 150, I think 147 was about the lowest I saw it get to. It's currently now at 192.
Think of all that rocket fuel they could have saved over the years.
So it's basically going like that, bouncing up and down. So in theory, it could bounce in, break the gravitational pull, I guess. I don't know.
Right. How many RGB headers does the Antec cooler have?
The Antec cooler has exactly none RGB headers. It is a static blue, I believe, which was traditional for Antec back in the earlier days. I remember the Antec P900s. No, yeah, just the 900 series. That was always blue LEDs. Antec, their colour scheme has always been blue and white. Hugh says, Antec sounds familiar, must have been around for a while. Yep, they have been a long time. Gonna have a lay down, listen, good night all. Good night, Hugh. Sleep well. Probably will do if you listen to this, son. Good night, Hugh. Sleep well, my friend.
It's such a sad thing.
Oh dear. So sad. Actually, let's try something. So I'm going to move this now. Hopefully it's not going to interfere with the doodads. You know what I mean?
No.
So I want to try the different mic patterns. So at the moment we are on. Can't even see it. That is that's the one there. So we are on cardioid, I believe. Yes, I think so. So
Just a bit on your hair.
did I?
No.
You idiot. So if I move this to stereo. So now that is in stereo mode. Does it sound any different at all? Say something, Kath.
Hayden's been looking at the Cooler Master keyboards today.
Hayden's been looking at the Cooler Master keyboards today. Tempted. I quite fancy one of those HyperX keyboards. I've been looking at those actually.
You sound like a whispering Bob Harris.
Mark Ofsky says, you sound like a whispering Bob Harris. Who's Bob Harris?
I don't know. At least it's not Rolf.
Tie me kangaroo down, sport. Tie me kangaroo down. Oh, too much fun. Markovsky says it really is a good sounding mic. Markovsky, well impressed. So, does it sound any different now it's in stereo mode? Does it sound any wider? Does it sound better? Just, is there any difference? I've got to be honest with you, I'm pretty much tone deaf. I cannot play music for... I just can't do music.
Patrick LaBelle. I bet you haven't replied, have you?
Patrick LaBelle. Hi, Mike. Break time for supper, or is it dinner? Thanks for the good word about my dog.
Gorgeous dog.
Oh, of course, yes. Yes. Yeah, Patrick's had his Mike's Unboxing t-shirt come through. Looks pretty swish.
You haven't replied, have you?
I haven't replied yet. Today, I've filmed 2 videos today, done questions and stuff, and I saw the email. Kath showed me it. I do apologise for not replying. I should have replied earlier. I'm a bad person. I'm a bad person.
Say a special word to the dog.
Special word to the... What's the dog's name? It did say in the email, didn't it?
I don't think so.
Did it not? Okay. Anyway, so that is stereo. So let's go back to cardioid. So now that is on the cardioid pattern, so that should be more focused this way. So the next mode is... I can never tell. Right, so the next mode is going to be omnidirectional. So now this is in omnidirectional, so now it's picking up... There's basically 3 capsules inside this microphone. 2 at the front, 1 at the back, I believe, in a kind of like a triangle shape. So now all 3 mics are working in conjunction. So if Kath says something or stabs the cat with something hard and sharp. Taloop.
Dog's name.
Taloop. Is that male or female? I don't want to use the wrong pronouns on a dog. Good night, Taloop.
It's Canada.
Oh yeah, it's Canada, yeah. Good morning, Taloop. Go and take a piss.
Walkies.
Blake says, take a picture on your phone, then you can read the different options. I've only got 1 left now. And actually, I've forgotten what that is already. What have we had? So this is omnidirectional. Does it sound any different?
More muffled.
This doesn't sound as clear, more muffled. Right, excellent. Mark, that is that's the badger. That's what I'm looking for. So, what's the next mode? I don't even know. I think this one might be stereo. I've already said stereo, but I might have been wrong. So I don't know what mode this is in at the moment. This is probably stereo. So the 3 capsules that are in the mic, 1 at the back, 2 at the front. One's a left, one's a right, clearly. So now if there should have been some really, really good stereo separation there if you're wearing headphones. Please do let me know. Patrick LaBelle says male. It means little wolf. Oh, that's cute.
Look at his face. Can you put him on again?
What's the mic sound like now? Does it sound still quite clear, or which one of the settings is your preference? Which would you prefer to hear? Obviously, you guys are the listener. So, Kath's got a picture of Patrick's dog out there. Little Wolfie. And the Mike's Unboxing t-shirt that he's currently taking a piss on. Bad Wolfie.
Like mates.
Markovsky said, yeah, that stereo, my headphones lit up. Oh, cool. That's nice with headphones. Not very musical. But hopefully there should be some really, really good stereo separation. They do aim this at the people that... guitarists. The ones that play the guitar. That's the one. So, yeah, guitarists and basically musicians. That is what this is effectively aimed at. as you can tell by the not so subtle advertising on the side of the box, with a femalist with the guitar, I believe. She's looking very happy about the whole situation.
There is a little delay on the sound.
There is a little delay on the sound. Ah, that's interesting. So we have been streaming now for approximately hour and 3/4. So it would be interesting. That could have been because of me switching the mic type. That is a possibility. Let me mute it a second. Did you hear any of that? I hope not. For those of you that are into lip reading, I didn't say that. But there is a little delay on the sound. Stephen Currit says, even without headphones, I can hear the stereo. Oh, that's pretty cool. So William Bodie says, better in stereo now. Okay, so stereo seems to be the way forward. Looking at the mic levels, actually. Yeah, definitely on the bars on my OBS, you've got the mic levels, and you can see one side definitely has got more than the other. So if I move around here, then you should be able to hear me on this side, and then if I move around the microphone, then you should hear the noise follow me around. So for positional audio, that should be pretty good. Even if that could make people sick, I guess. But it's pretty good to have a stereo microphone. Not all microphones are stereo. Generally, they tend to often be mono, and then they split the mono signal into two. So that's good. And William Bodie says the delay is gone. Fantastico. Oh, I'm really happy. I got to be honest with you, I wasn't overly keen on using a mic like this, but for live streaming it's brilliant because I can basically go off and do anything. So this will be another good test of what the stereo sound is like. So now I am completely to the left hand side, and well, can you see? I don't think it makes so much difference when I'm doing this, but if I walk around, if we're closer to the microphone, I think the difference between left and right is a lot more noticeable. I should have done that in the review. I'm an idiot. Absolute idiot. The delay is gone. Now do the chopper. Chopper? Get to the chopper. Is that what you meant? Can still hear you fine. Sounds great on TV. Oh God, I'm on TV. I was wanting to be on TV. I was wanting a job on QVC. From when I was a very young person, around the 20s, watching QVC and thinking, man, I'd love to do that.
But instead we just got stoned and bought frying pans.
Yeah, instead we just smoked way too much doobage and bought frying pans that we never needed. And car wax. And
That was good though, wasn't it?
the car wax was good, actually. Showroom shine, everybody. For all you detailers out there that are spending hours and hours doing your car and cleaning it, don't bother. Get some showroom shine and a microfiber cloth. They do come included with 5 microfiber cloths for the bargain price of only $24.95, which you can pay on 3 steps with QPay. Love QVC. Love QVC. Man, I used to watch that all the time. William Bodie says, I see you on the right, but hear you on the left. Oh, no. Angel's in. Hello. Angel's our daughter. She's currently away holidaying in the sunny Costa del Cornish thing. Somewhere down there. Oh, William says no, the 360 chopper like in creative. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm not making chopper noises in a live stream. I've embarrassed myself enough as it is. I can't do the chopper as well. Right, okay. What time is it? Riley says, I need to try Showroom Shine when I clean my car. Seriously, it's really good. And
It did a good job on the wood burner every day.
yeah, we used to use on all sorts. It's got loads of carnauba in it, which carnauba is a great wax for keeping things clean. You can use it on basically anything. Computer cases. On glass, it works absolutely brilliant. Not driving glass, because your windscreen wipers don't like it. But any glass surfaces is really, really good.
Because wood burners get that black smoked stuff and it was so good
Yeah.
at getting that off.
Good stuff. Showroom shine. It's a waterless wax, so it's good for the environment.
I've
Although
done it for years.
the chemicals that are in it are probably not so good. Although carnauba is natural, isn't it? I'm not sure what carnauba comes from. I'm sure it's plant-based. Anyway.
Mine's a bit nutty.
Stefan says, gotta go. Happy Mother's Day. See you later. Yeah, and actually we should consider wrapping this up. There are other things that we should have taken a look at, but we've microphoned ourselves to death with this microphone. We've got this one, which is a wireless mic set from somebody called MCO Plus. I'm actually really interested to see what that's like, because that is quite a cheap and cheerful, cost-effective way of getting wireless. But I actually kind of like my Boya mic now, because I can go over here and I can go over here, which is pretty cool. Some things easily please me, and as long as this sounds good, I'm happy. Jay Jones says, "Oh, wanted to ask a question." Go on then, let's have some questions.
Right, in the meantime, Chess Master asked, what is the cost of
Chessmaster
8
wants
gig stick of RAM for laptop?
8 gig stick of RAM for a laptop at the moment. If it's DDR4 2666, probably looking about £30 at the moment, £35. Depends what brand you go for. I've always liked the Silicon Power stuff, but there's tons of different brands out there, and Silicon Power isn't available all around the world. So, Fordy says, "Kath sounds a lot clearer on that set-in mic." There you go, Fatty. You're you can hear you a bit better. She's like, "You're a bad monkey." Like me calling someone fatty, that's like kettle pot black. Is that, are you allowed to say that anymore? Is that a thing? I don't know. I hate this modern world. Chessmaster says, "Hola." Markovsky says, "Don't put it on your floorboards or you'll be on your arse." Yeah, don't carnauba your floorboards. It is it's like a waxy surface. Yeah, actually, you might be right as long as you don't get any moisture. If you get moisture between you, the carnauba, and said surface, you are likely to go arse over tit. William Brody says, "Mike's unboxing reviews. Can you turn the mic 180 to fix the left and right?" 40 says, "That not nice." I'm only joking. Calf's very slim. Right, so this is the other way round.
That's 360.
That's 180. 360 is all the way round.
I thought you went all the way around then.
No. So now this is my left, which should be your right. And this is my right, which should be your left. Does it sound any different? It did make me wonder, actually, when they said that one side is the front and one side is the back. The front should be the side with the mic, or the volume level and the mute button.
That's better, Davey said.
This is better. What sounds better? I think put the buttons around the wrong way.
Maybe you meant that's better that you call me fat.
Ah, right, yeah.
No, I don't know. That is right now. But it hurt their ears when you rotated it.
Oh, don't
Lift it
rotate the mic. Sorry. Sorry. Outlaw Fett's with us. Outlaw Fett, we had a look at your A30 cooler just now. You missed it. Lucky if I'll pick it up and you rotate it, lol. Sorry. Danielle says, "Better left and right were reversed." So now this works better on the left hand side. So am I coming out of your left hand speaker now? Or your right hand speaker? More so. That is weird. So does that make sense now when you're watching? Because that's going to blow my mind.
Your left is our right.
Yes. Oh yeah, of course, yeah, because the thing. Run the other way. Yeah, that is a bit bizarre, actually, isn't it? So, yeah, it doesn't quite work unless the camera is behind me. Then it would look right to you. Because I'm in front of you and you're obviously seeing things around the other way. Yeah, that is confusing stuff. No, your left is our right. Yeah. because of the...
But poor sign now went in front of you.
Oh, the sign's bad now. Right. Bear with. How's that? Is that any better now? Does the sound better? I'm still trying to work out where the actual directional part of the mic is. I'm assuming because it's stereo, then it should be multiple areas, but depending where the openings are, and you can't actually see inside, they could be side firing or they could be top firing. Who knows?
What's RAM frequency? I have dual channel 3600, 16 gig RAM, and the frequency says 1796.4.
J Jones, your frequency is exactly spot on. So you should find that RAM is DDR, so that stands for double data rate. So whatever your frequency is reported, normally you would times that by 2. So in your particular instance, you've got 1796, which is 3594. So that's pretty close. My motherboard I think shows 1801, but they can show difference.
Definitely sounds better when you have it round the other way.
Definitely sounds better, right.
Lift up.
I got a mute button. That's pretty cool. Normally my mute button would involve me just pulling the cable out or standing on it under the table. Let's move it a bit closer. Did it gently then. Ooh, that's better. I guess with mics, this down to the closer you can get to it, the better it's going to be. I think at the moment, the gain is turned up a little bit too high to be this close. So I probably need to move it back a smidge. That's the most careful I've been with anything for a long time. Even my processor earlier, which is like... 40 says that definitely sounds better. Sounds good now. Awesome. Yeah, that's even better. Sup Mike says, Flip Anderson. How you doing? Ugly is one of my pronouns, lol. I don't know. It's so wrong, but it's so funny at the same time. That lady that went into the American store and the cashier says, there you go, sir, there's your change. And to be fair, visually, there is some elements of masculinity there. So when she turns around and says, it's ma'am, it just cracks me up. The more I see it, I keep on looping it in my head. I know I shouldn't, I'm a bad person, but it's very funny. Frostbit says, sounds much better this way. Thank you. Markovsky say something, Kath, to test your side.
Something.
She's she is quite quietly spoken anyway. Unless she's pissed at me, in which case then she's like, Rawr!
I do warn you, I have to speak to the kids like that.
Hayden Trent says, it's RAM. I've seen that meme. That is a great meme. Hisero says, hello. Can you change the right and left channels? I suppose I could actually change the right and left channels in the OBS, I think, possibly. Let me have a look. Properties. Properties, no, can't do it there. So let's have a look. Properties, advanced audio properties, desktop audio, balance, left and right, mono, offset, sync. No, I don't think I can in there. There probably is a way that I can add a filter. Filters, audio filters, compressor, blah blah blah, noise gate, expander gain, invert polarity. What does invert polarity do? That might make things go very, very bad. Let's try it. Invert polarity. Okay. Is that done a thing? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. Let me know.
Chat.
Super chat, Stuart Clary, €10. Says salubrious vids. Thanks.
What does that mean?
Salubrious?
Massive.
Not sure. That's a big word.
Thought you took it really well. I've ruined it for you now.
I'm assuming it's a good thing.
We had this last week.
The fact that it's accompanied with €10, you would presume that it's a good thing. Although I may have said a bad word. I don't know.
You did this to us last time, didn't you?
Ooh, crackled a bit when you went loud. So no, still the same. You sound like Davros now. Polarity is
Oh,
right.
this is the same word.
Oh.
Healthy, healthy.
Right, let's filters. Let's remove the filters. Minusing. There we go. Back to normal. There's probably things I can do to it. I honestly have got very little experience with USB mics. I generally tend to go with lav mics on a 3.5mm jack purely because they're just so simple to use.
Promoting health and welfare.
Promoting health and welfare. Salubrious.
That's what we
I like
looked at
that.
last week.
High wasteland gaming. Experiment. Invert polarity just inverts the wave 190 degrees. Only important with multiple inputs where you don't want them out of phase. Yep. What Danielle said. Did it sound like Davros? I like that. That's pretty cool. We might have to do a... Markovsky says it's still a really well sounding mic. Mike. Coolio. Ugly Bob, is that your real image? No, he's got a picture of that bloke who does the bacon program on TV. I'm sorry, I can't answer that for you, Chess Master. I do not know. I have never seen said individual in the flesh.
I have. I've seen photos of him in his gym.
Yeah, but you've seen photos, but that could not be the real thing. You might be being
But he was watching you
goldfished
on
or whatever it
TV,
is they call.
so it was either some other.
It's some other person. Right, what else have we got to look at? I'm sure there's something else. Oh, I know what it was. We'll have a quick look see at this. So, I'm not sure, has this video gone out yet for the speakers, Kath? These ones?
No.
Oh. Well, so this is going to be completely useless to all of you. So, I reviewed these the other day. These are the Trust 2.1 speaker set. This is a USB powered one. This is what I actually gained the copyright infringement notice about when I was using audio for Pixabay. So these actually are surprisingly good, and they were about a tenner. There was a special offer. We posted on the Discord and also in the community tab. Yeah, or maybe it is then. So the Trust speakers, we put them down on the floor, and then they decided to go and have some babies. So they then had the other set, which are, as you can tell, considerably bigger. Now these sounded really good, so I'm hoping that these are going to sound even better. So you've got the Ziva on the top, and you've got the Avora. That's so close to Aurora, it's ridiculous. So the Avora set is basically larger. So 12 watts for these, 18 watts for these, both powered from USB. Both of them 2.1, so subwoofer and separate speakers. And surprisingly, the subwoofer, bizarrely, I did some sine wave tests on it using one of the YouTube apps. And it doesn't actually say on there, I don't think, the frequency response. Yeah, it says there that the frequency range of this top set is 100 Hz to 20,000 Hz. Now 100 Hz is basically rubbish in terms of bass frequencies. Anything over 100, or anything lower than, I think it's about 24 Hz, is you basically can't feel it. But from around about 80 downwards to about 40 is where you really do feel the bass. And subsonics, I think, kick in from 40 to 20. I might be slightly off there, it's been a while. But actually putting the sine waves through this speaker set, they went down to about 10 Hz. You could still see the actual cone just moving around. You couldn't hear it, and you couldn't actually feel it, but you can certainly see it moving. And because you can see it moving, it means it's moving air, so it is making some sound, even if it's not audible. It's like a sub-frequency or something like that. So those are actually really good. Considering they're USB powered, they're actually very, very good. So I'm really excited this week to be trying out these ones, the bigger brother. I fail to see how they can get so much power out of a USB port. I really do. They only use the USB port for power, to be fair, so there is that to it. And as we all know, you can use USB ports to charge up all sorts of things these days, like vape batteries, like charging those. I use it to charge my skull shaver, to shave my head. Charge your phone, all those kinds of things. You can power all sorts off it. But yeah, considering these run just off USB, is mental. It really is. And for £10, which these were, I'm not sure if they're still on offer at the moment.
Tandy used to sell trust stuff.
Yes, they did actually. Yeah, you're right.
Tandy is your favourite, wasn't it?
Tandy. Yeah. So these are really good. If you're looking for a set of cheap USB speakers, definitely look out for the Zivas. I've not tried the Avoras yet, so I'm not entirely 100% on those, but hopefully they're going to be pretty decent. But those ones, again, £9.97 or whatever they were, absolute madness. Definitely try and get a set of them. When they turned up, they were both in the same box, so you can imagine the box was like an Amazon box, not much bigger than that. And I looked at Kath and I'm like, what's that? She said, oh, it's Amazon. I'm like, that's supposed to be 2 sets of speakers in there. And she comes in with this, like, basically what is the same size as a large shoebox. I'm like, this is not going to go well. So I figured I'll do the small ones first. Sorry if I hit the mic. I'll do the small ones first to see what they're like. And if the big ones are anything like as good as the little ones, they're going to be amazing.
My first computer from Tandy.
This, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking of Tandy. My first computer. This is the Tandy. I can't remember what the model of this is now. I did look it up the other day. The Tandy PC 320, I think it was. No, EC 320. Basically, it was a notepad, a phone book, a calculator, scheduler, diary, basically a filofax for yuppies and people that had more money and sense. It says Tandy on the front.
I loved my little thing.
Hopefully you
We
just
both
let me
had
know.
them, didn't we?
There.
Didn't you break
Tandy.
those?
Yeah, we both had them. Mine, I think, died 1,000 pieces. I did buy some new batteries for this because the batteries are completely flat. I have got the batteries, and I was tempted to do a either a stream or some video of basically trying to resurrect this thing, see if it actually works, and see if my fond memories are actually accurate, or whether or not they were slightly rose tinted. So, anyway, thanks for that, Kath. That was pretty awesome. Tandy used to be great. Maplins and Tandy, when they both closed, obviously Tandy back in the mid-90s, maybe early 2000s, I'm not too sure exactly when they closed. But yeah, they were brilliant. Loved them. Absolutely loved them. Yeah, Hayden says, did anyone see that link to WH Smith selling GPUs the other day? Yeah, WH Smith in the UK, who basically don't exist anymore, were selling GTX 1650 Supers from PNY, I think it was, for about £167. Very bizarre.
Oh my god, George would have loved that, wouldn't he?
What's that?
Shock Sports Direct didn't buy Maplins.
Yeah, that is shocking, actually. I would have thought they would have done as well. Right, I think that is going to pretty much wrap things up. I've actually got work to go to tomorrow. And it is just gone 11 o'clock, so we've been doing this for 2 hours. Mike actually buys everything for £1. Oh, I'll put myself for sale. Mike's Unboxing, part of sportsdirectgroup.com.
But
in the bag.
Give them their due.
Give them their due. They paid George furlough basically from day one of this thing. The human thing.
And 100% for the first one.
Yeah, done well. Anyway, thank you all so much for your super chats. Hopefully you've enjoyed tonight's stream. If you have, don't forget to leave a like and all that kind of usual stuff. And if you've liked any of the products that you've seen in tonight's stream extravaganza, feel free to click on the links in the video description, which we'll add at some point, or comment, and comment some more. Comments are what really do drive the YouTube algorithm. Likes, comments, and watch time are basically what is all about. So yeah,
Magic Friday.
What's the word I'm looking for? what's it when you do stuff with people?
Interaction.
Interactions. You guys interact. We'll interact with you, and YouTube will hopefully promote us a little bit and get a few more viewers. That'd be great. So thanks all for the super chats. Don't forget, Fridays are Bad Joke Friday. We kind of missed in the comments. Make sure you put some bad jokes in the comments on a Friday. It's always well worth it. I can never think of any because my brain is just rubbish. Anyway, hopefully no one manages to have a Chinese rocket land on them tonight. Hopefully it lands safely in the sea. That would be awesome. And yeah, I think that's going to be pretty much it. So yeah, thanks all for the super chats. Thanks all for clicking like and all that kind of stuff. And that leaves me with only one thing to say, and that is, I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.